So I'm back on the railroad today, and there's really two reasons for that. One is mechanical. So if you're a mechanical guy, stick around, you'll be glad you did. The other is to give you a little bit of business philosophy and to tell you where we're headed. I wanted to bring you a message of hope and encouragement. And I got knocked down, but I didn't get knocked out. In boxing analogy, there's a lot of difference between getting knocked down and getting knocked out. If you get knocked down, it proves you've got a worthy adversary. It's not child's play, it's real, and you better be at your best. So I did get knocked down, and I got back to my feet, went to my corner, took a little breather. That was that July series that you guys watched and liked. And then I got some really encouraging words from my coaches. Who are my coaches? You guys. Subscribers, commenters said some of the nicest things, and I really do appreciate that. And with the break and the encouragement from my coaches and 3 cups of coffee, I'm ready to go again. And that's some of what I want to talk about today. People might look at a big stained glass window and marvel at how beautiful it is. Maybe in a cathedral, a sunrise, some beautiful mosaic of stained glass. But pardon me, a year ago, 10 years ago, 100 years ago, that was broken glass that was swept into a pile and discarded. And then somebody came along, looked at it, probably somebody with more attitude than skill, more attitude. And the attitude of what can I make out of what looks like a disaster, a pile of broken glass. And they slowly set out to build this beautiful stained glass window that later we all marvel at. Well, that's true in life too. You're not going to get through life without bad stuff happening to you. And it's not what happens to you as much as what you do about it, how you handle it, how you pick up the pieces, how you look at the pieces and say, what can I make out of this? So, and I know that might sting for some of you, because right now you're in the middle of something that you never imagined could have happened. But I'm encouraging you. Look at the pieces. Amongst those pieces, there might be a beautiful picture that you can put together. So thank you for the encouragement, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these pieces and put them into an amazing picture. And it won't be that we're going to be a Class 3 short line railroad. The cost and the regulations to do that were prohibitive. And as I'm looking over there at the bakery, the future I don't think is spotting 2 cars a week in the bakery. As much as we would have thought that was success, it still doesn't provide income up to the minimum threshold, the barriers of entry. So where we're going with this thing, and I'm back in fighting mode. Thank you for the encouragement and allowing me to take a break. Transload looks like the future of this type of railroading. And that's because fuel prices are up, drivers and trucks are unavailable, governments want trucks off the road, and that makes transloading maybe our best opportunity. Now, I will say, I originally wanted passive income from storing cars or residual income from having a big customer of which I got a percentage of their total freight bill. But that's not going to happen because the way the pricing is done. CSX, Norfolk Southern, sets the price. The Ohio Central doesn't want a divvy. There are no crumbs left on the table for the East Terminal Railway. Hence, transloading. So with me today, and that's the mechanical part. If you guys are mechanical, stand by. I'm going to reposition and show you what I have with me here at the railroad yard today. Well, enough of this heart stuff. Let's get back to the head and hands part of this, the mechanical part that I know some of you guys really like. This camera does not do well in the sunshine. It just shut off. So it's a warm day in Ohio. Not sure what I lost.
Well, I did lose some video because the camera got too hot. But right here is where I explained we had opportunity to quote unloading coil that would come inbound in a gondola. There would be about 40 of these coils per car. So what my job now is figure out the cost to unload, reload, just all the expenses to make sure that we do cover our costs and leave a little bit of profit to go into the future.
The gondola would sit there. We would reach down in the gon, either with the magnet or with the grapple, and fish these out. Now, a follow-on to this type of load is rebar. There's a big construction project coming up that's going to require tons and tons of rebar, and it's possible that we will be known as a transload yard that specializes in metal products loading onto flatbed trailers. And there's potentially quite a bit of it. So let's take this coil over to the other yard, see what the grapple does with it, see if it lifts it easily. We'll probably lift it first with the strap, because on the grapple we've got these jaws that are made for grasping trees, and sometimes they work really well on rail, and I can't tear this up. This is the customer's product. So thanks for coming to the yard with me today. Thanks for letting me wax eloquent there, and thank you for being an encouragement. Let's go to the other yard, see how we're going to unload this material. Well, here we are at the other yard, and let me tell you what we're going to be doing. I'm going to unchain, unstrap that coil. We're going to, in the first move, see how this old fork truck does. This is Navy surplus. I bought it from a vocational school, and we've used it a lot. May have to use it in the future. Alice Chalmers. Would this be a production fork truck? No. But is it how we might get started? Yes. Drawbacks to it, it does not have side shift. When you're handling coils, you kind of got to be able to move them sideways to get them all put together. It annoys the truckers when you leave a gap between them, because then as they strap them, they're trying to pull the gap together, or if they strap them and they go down the road, everything loosens up because the coils weren't right together. So side shift is an issue. Then what we're going to do is, after I am convinced our fork truck can lift, carry, etc., we're going to put it back on the bed, simulate that that's a gondola, and that we've parked the grapple up to the gondola, and we're going to reach inside and pull out a coil. Now, I'll have to point out when I get the grapple unbedded that we've got an attachment on there that might damage that coil, and in that way we're not going to be able to do it. Well, I'll have to think of something else. And then the other thing I'd like to do is see if the grapple can pinch the coil this way. Look at that. Look how my thumb and finger move together. That's an amazingly dexterous human, whatever. So anyway, also I wanted to say what they call these things are slinkies. If you break those bands, you have got a mess on an epic scale. It's almost unfixable, and it's then not a product that they can pull through the machine. So goal number one here is don't unpackage the slinky. Okay, I'm going to unstrap. We're going to try the fork truck out. I'll be right back. That one chain I had around the coil and then back each way so that the coil couldn't slide. Voila. think we're out of fuel. Well, that test, although it was successful, I just ran out of gasoline. So that'll be a quick fix. I'll be right back. It did lift it. It's at the top end of its capacity. Could we start with that fork truck and then upgrade pretty quickly? I think so. Jury's still out on whether we should even start with that one, but that's what I wanted to know, is would it do it? I'll go get some gasoline. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm refueled, ready to go. I am going to set this back up on there as if we were loading a flat trailer. That's what we'll be doing, is unloading them out of the gon, putting them on the bed of the Grapple, and then picking them off the bed of the Grapple with the fork truck. So right now, if the 550 was the gondola, if I can pick it up and put it right here, then that's where the fork truck would come and get it from. So you could be working on the Grapple, line up coils down through here, and then get on the fork truck and load a truck with it. There are 4 truckloads in one gondola. So let's see how putting the coil back up on there goes. I'd drive it around, but I think I've already proved to myself that it will do it. Well, watch this. This isn't good. Now the fork truck is leaning forward a little bit because the back end is up off the ground, but watch this. This isn't good, and really means that this fork truck could not be used for this purpose. Kind of disappointed. Okay, ETR Nation, here's what I just learned. I could do that job, but the fork truck shouldn't be doing that job. It does not have enough weight. It does not have side shift. This coil weighs 4,800 pounds, but the problem is when you get out on the forks. So next up, we're going to see how the Grapple approaches this thing, how it feels about it. I'll probably leave you right here. I'll go get the truck ready, and then we'll see what how it does. I don't know if you could see that from back here, but let's go up here and see what happened. Because of that jaw, I can't get low enough to get past the center. No, and I hope I didn't damage that. So what we're going to do now is see if we can lift it with a chain, because this grapple would have to be modified. Even with that jaw out of there. Now, I should have been further that way, but still, it's not, no, that would have to be modified. But let's see if it'll lift it just with its capacity. So I'm going to put a chain around it. I'll be just a second, and then we'll see if it'll lift it. Hey, I'll take you up top with me and give you the view from up there. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. I got the outriggers down. I'm gonna go up with this lever right here. Now I said I was gonna use a strap, but I'm running out of time today. Oh, I should have brought the tripod as well. No problem. That's no problem. So I'm looking to see if that were a gondola, are we reaching over to the far side? And I don't think that we are. So next I'm going to try turning, because that's where capacity comes in. It's, can you turn? Well, that hit the truck bed. This is well within the chart. I like to put her down to the ground when I turn while I'm testing. There, we're getting off the outrigger a little bit. Gonna go up a little bit. Yeah. So that would be about our maximum radius. Okay, I'm gonna turn this sideways so that I can get it off with the fork truck if I need to. Well, ETR Nation, I would say I'm a little disappointed with that. Not discouraged. I'm not going to flip and go into full Eeyore mode. See, I can joke about myself. But at that radius right there, we were too light on the outriggers. You know, what I can do one time, you cannot expect an employee or a helper to do over and over and over. So, although these two machines would do it, they won't do it on the scale that we need, with the productivity that we need, and the safety that we need. So, you know, every test, even if you don't get the results you wanted, it's still a test that gives you results. And that's what I needed today, was to know, could these two machines do it safely? I would say no. We're going to now go on in another video and see if we have a magnet that'll pick that up. If we could pick that up, that coil, with a magnet and a crane, we would be able to reach much farther and not have to put anyone down in the gondola to put straps around it. And honestly, that test right there is why I'm glad I didn't cut that jaw off just to test it. See what the chain did? It allowed me to see if the machine would do it after I learned that really the Grapple wouldn't do it. Couldn't squeeze low enough on the coil to get past the center. But the chain showed me that the machine is also a little bit light. Okay, I'm going to put all this stuff away. And thanks for coming in on a Saturday. You know, you can, if you're going to log this in your book, put it under research and design, R&D, or learning and discovery, or however you want to word it. We did learn, we did discover. And this is on the road to successful transloading. We're back in the ring. We're energized. We're going to take it on. Looking into the future, possibly through coil.